Hello, YouTube. I'm holding my phone because I want this to be up close and personal. This is my second time filming this video, and like I said in the first time I filmed this video, I don't know if I'm going to post it or not, but I feel that documenting the way that I feel and making these videos are very therapeutic. On my YouTube channel, you have seen makeup videos and fun videos with my husband and his sister and things like that. But I've never really gotten personal with you all. And something that I want to share that I think other people could benefit from would be that I have mental health disorders. I have been clinically diagnosed with clinical depression, anxiety, severe, PTSD, and mild OCD. All of these things stem from an event that happened in my life that I will not share. If you know me personally, you do know the event that happened, and you know the story, you know why I have what I have, and you'll understand. If you don't know me, please do not speculate or come up with crazy things in your head about what it could be, because it's probably not what you think that it is. But that event led to the PTSD for sure, and then I think the anxiety and depression led from the PTSD and other things, that happened in my life. I'm playing with a pen because I'm anxious. But yes, so I will give backstory, and then I will get into my mental health disorders and go from there. I started seeing a therapist when I was about 4 years old. The event that happened in my life happened when I was 3.5. And I started seeing a therapist when I was 4, and then for a good gap in my life, I didn't see a therapist at all. When I was about 12 or 13, I realized that I had anxiety and depression, and I kept it to myself. I think that my mom and my grandparents always knew that something wasn't right, but I don't know if they didn't want to say it or they didn't want it to be true. They didn't want me to go through it. I don't know. But I kept it to myself because I did not want my mom or my grandparents to deal with it, because I didn't want to deal with it. And I didn't want to add to my mother's plate or my grandparents' plate. That leads into the fact that my mother was a single mother. I also have a special needs sister who is now 18, and she is amazing. She is a beautiful miracle who is a ray of sunshine, who loves everybody, who everybody loves her because she's just so awesome. And she's so beautiful and smart and kind and sassy. But she is in a wheelchair. She has cerebral palsy. And so yeah, my mother grew up taking care of me, who I am 3.5 years older than my sister, and a special needs child, as a single mother. She did have help from my grandparents, which are her mother and father, whom I call Mama and Poppy. And my grandmother's like my second mom, and my grandfather is like my father. And they are amazing people too. So I didn't want to add to my mom or my grandparents' plate because they were taking care of a special needs child. My mother was working full-time all the time while taking care of a special needs child and me. So I didn't want to say anything. I think that my mom started to figure it out on her own because it started to affect my daily life and my schoolwork. And I think that I opened up a little bit about it when I was about 15 or 16. I was in high school, and that's when I started to see my first therapist. Her name is Sandy McKenzie. I saw her, and she is a Christian therapist. I am a huge believer and follower of Jesus Christ, and I'm not ashamed of that. And she helped me a lot. My mother paid an arm and a leg for me to see her, and I'm very grateful for that because she did help me. And as I got older, it got worse. The anxiety and the depression got worse. I think when I was 18 years old, I moved in with Jake. We were dating, and I decided that I wanted to see a doctor. And I went and saw a pediatric doctor, because that's all I knew. And he diagnosed me then with depression and anxiety, and started me on a medication that did not work out. I then went a couple more years without being treated or getting help. And then we moved to Daytona. I started to get very bad anxiety and depression and started to get very down and in a deep, dark place. And in turn, I found where I currently am, which is APNS, and it is a medical facility for mental health. I see a therapist twice a month, at least. That's the minimum requirement. And I see she has a certain title, but she is a nurse practitioner for mental health. And she provides me my medication that I am on now. And I have been on the 2 medications, one for anxiety and one for depression, that I'm on now for about a year and a half. And they work great. Before I got secured on these 2 medications, I had another event happen where I needed to seek help. And when I sought that help, I was diagnosed with clinical depression, anxiety, and it was diagnosed as severe anxiety, PTSD, and then something new, which is mild OCD. And when I told my family that I was diagnosed with mild OCD, they probably thought I was crazy, because I don't show any signs of that anybody knows of. And I didn't think I had it either, because OCD to me is obsessive compulsive about cleaning, about, things like that, being organized. And I'm not organized, I'm not clean, I'm not dirty, but I'm just, like, I don't have to have things spotless, you know what I mean? I'm a messy person, I'm 22, it happens, I should be cleaner. My house is clean, of course, but if there's a speck of dirt or, there's dust on my shelves, I don't freak out about it, which my family knows that. But, so I was diagnosed with that mild OCD, and I thought there's no way. And then I looked back at and thought about what I had told the doctor about the things that I do. And I realized, oh my gosh, I do have mild obsessive compulsive disorder. So to get more into that, I will give a few examples. I have a thing with numbers. Every time that I walk up a set of stairs, I have to count the stairs. And I have to know how many steps that I'm taking up the stairs. Why? I don't know. I can tell you that there's 35 steps on my staircase at my apartment complex, and I count them every single time that I walk up them. I don't count them when I walk down them, but I count them when I walk up them. Sometimes if I miscount, I walk back down and walk back up and recount. Another thing, at night, I have a specific routine that I have to be on. If it is not the way that I need it to be, I freak out inside. And in return, don't sleep. And it's just at home, though. It's not when I'm away. But I can't be away from my home for too long, or I get anxiety. I have to have a fan on. It first started out that I had to have 2 fans on, and I have now gotten down to just needing 1 fan, which is a small achievement, and small achievements are better than no achievements, according to my therapist. So that's one small achievement when it comes to my mild OCD. The second achievement would be I had to have the house on 72 degrees. We have now upgraded to 73 degrees. I have to have a light on. Specifically, I have a diffuser, and it has a light on it. And the light on it can be different shades and different colors. And I have to have it on the lightest shade of purple. I have to have the closet door closed, the bedroom door closed, no TV on. If the TV is on, it has to be on no sound. I have to sleep with my stuffed giraffe, which sounds cheesy and childish, but I do. If I'm alone in the bed, I have to have the giraffe. If my husband's in the bed, I'm fine. It's still in the bed with me, but I'm fine. If I go spend the night with my mom, I don't bring it with me, and I'm fine, because I'll either sleep with my mom or my sister. I'm not alone. But when my husband gets up for work, I have to have it, or I'll freak out, or I won't go back to sleep. So those are some examples of the things that I found out that are mild obsessive compulsive, because if they aren't done, then I can't function. To get into anxiety, to me personally, my anxiety journey is very broad. Anything and everything can trigger my anxiety, and I didn't even know that. I find out new things with my mental health every day. Just like the other day, I was in my doctor's office, and there was too many people. I had an anxiety attack. I had to go outside and catch breath. So my anxiety can be triggered by anything. I can't list just one thing. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll just have anxiety, and I don't know why. But I have figured out ways to cope with the anxiety. One being my medication. Two being a hot bath. Hot baths have always calmed me down, and to this day they do still calm me down. Praying, breathing, taking a breath, sitting in front of a cold fan. There's just things that I've found to help me out. And almost every family member that are like close family members know what to do when I'm having an anxiety attack, or when I'm about to start having an anxiety attack. When my husband sees that I'm having an anxiety attack, he knows what to do. He goes and starts a bath if we're home. So I deal with my anxiety that way. My depression, I will say depression is so very hard. One day you'll be fine, the next day you can be terrible. Even with medication. My medication has helped so much. But there will be days where I just want to, my depression just leaves me in the bed. It leaves me unmotivated, and I will just be in bed all day. I have very bad insomnia. I think that comes with my anxiety and depression. I'll be up until 3 in the morning. I'll go to bed at 3:30, 3 o'clock. This is not every night, but the earliest I think that I've been to bed in the past year is 10 o'clock. And that's early for me. That, to me, is the equivalent of somebody going to bed at 6 p.m. So I'll stay up, and then I will sleep until I wake up some days. I am learning to cope with that and to not do that. I started taking melatonin, which was okayed by my doctor, and it helps me sleep. And so then I will get up at a reasonable time, and school also helps me to be motivated to get up and start my day. This video is all over the place, but now you know a little bit more about me. I wanted to say 2 statements before I get off of this video. And it's going to get real and it's going to get personal. But to anyone who is suicidal or deals with mental health issues, I want you to know that you're not alone. You will be okay. You might not think that you're going to be okay, but you will be okay. There are people out there that you probably don't even think love you, or even you don't even know that they love you and care about you, but they do. And reach out to them, because I'm sure they will be there for you. I might not even know you. I have a YouTube, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook. They're all Madison Madden. Reach out to me, and I will help you. Don't be afraid to reach out to a doctor, or a therapist, or a psychiatrist, or, a best friend. Whatever you need. You're not alone, and it will be okay. It might not seem like it's okay, or it'll ever be okay, but one day it will get better, and you will learn to cope and deal, and you will learn to be the best you possible. The last thing that I want to say is, to my mom, to my mama, to my poppy, to my husband, to my husband's family, to my friends, I want you to know that I'm so thankful for you, and that you keep me going every day, and you're part of the reason that keeps me going every day. I keep me going every day. God keeps me going every day, amongst anything, but you're part of the reason that I keep going every day. And I love you all, and I thank you so much for everything that you do to me, from the big things down to checking up on me and praying for me. To my mom and my grandparents, thank you for being my rocks and believing in me and believing that I am strong enough to be okay. To my husband, thank you for coming into my life and helping me know my worth and being supportive of me, even though sometimes you don't understand. And to my husband's family, thank you for understanding as well and being there for me, because you didn't have to accept me. You could have thought that I was a freak, but you didn't. You accepted me for me, and you love me, and I know you love me, even though some of you don't want to admit it. But yeah, I hope that you guys liked this video and that it helped you learn more about me, and if you have mental health issues, that it helped you know that it will be okay and that everybody goes through something. So yeah, I will probably post this, I think. If I don't, sorry. And the next video that I post, I promise, will be more uplifting, more fun, and will probably be makeup related. So, like I always say, have a blessed night or day, and I will see you next time. Bye.